So at the beginning of the Gen 9 consoles with the Xbox Series family of consoles and the PS5 had a very distinct advantage, with it being the fact that it was only one version of the console, except one has a disk drive, the other does not. So having the bigger ecosystem and the easier console to develop for has given PlayStation a much clearer advantage in getting games on the platform. Then Microsoft comes in and develops two totally different consoles, which were, in my opinion, a much more innovative approach to the whole thing. You had the Xbox Series X, which gave you a much bigger premium experience with 4K graphics, better resolution, higher frame rates, and other features. And then you had the Xbox Series S, a much more easy to accept entry point into the Gen 9 consoles. No, you weren't having massive 4K experiences, but it was definitely giving you the ability to enter into Gen 9 and experience everything that it has to offer. This is where I respect Microsoft for making the decision to create the Series S, because they knew there was going to be a need for consumers to have a much more easily affordable console to be able to get into the Xbox ecosystem, especially with the fact that Microsoft wanted to go all in with Xbox Game Pass. Now, the Series S, by all means, has every right to exist because it is giving an advantage over the Xbox ecosystem that PlayStation doesn't have, and that's obviously price point. There is some people that are trying to say that the Xbox Series S holds back this generation of gaming, which in my opinion couldn't be further from the truth, because it's honestly giving this generation to have much better traction in these hard economic times. Now, obviously, if you haven't read recently, there has been some issues, though, with the power difference between the Xbox Series S and the Xbox Series X, which titles like Baldur's Gate 3 has created a little bit of a whirlwind of controversy with its existence. Yes, people are wanting to say that Baldur's Gate 3 is supposed to be some new standard in gaming, but in all actuality, what really has started a big fiasco with Baldur's Gate 3 is the fact that it is going to appear on the PlayStation 5 before the Xbox Series X. And that is because of the whole split screen co-op thing that they had going on in the background. And because of the RAM differences between the Series S and the Series X, there was going to be a delay on the Xbox side because Xbox has a parity clause which wants games feature complete between not only the Series X, but also the Series S. And with the limited amount of RAM in the Series S, it appears that having to render the game twice in split screen is a little bit difficult for the Series S hardware, at least right now, until Larian Studios finishes optimizing Baldur's Gate 3 for it to appear on the Series S, if it is even possible. This is where Xbox is making a big shocking change. They have seen the fact that because of this issue between the Series S and the Series X and the power issue, which was an unforeseen circumstance because obviously developers are free to do what they want, and they kind of created this situation with the design of a game, so it was something that Xbox didn't really see coming, and that was because of a design difference in the game. PlayStation was going to basically be handed an exclusive without having to fork out any extra money, contract, any obligations. PlayStation was able to get Baldur's Gate 3 as a somewhat timed exclusive on the PlayStation 5. Xbox saw this happening, and with the traction that they have in this generation, and also the fact that PlayStation has poked at them with a sharp stick during the ABK proceedings, Xbox kind of feels a certain way about giving PlayStation this advantage. So as it appears right now, according to Phil Spencer in an interview over at Gamescom, him and the rest of the Xbox executives have decided to allow Larian to pretty much publish the game this year on the Xbox Series X, and it is going to show up on the Series S as well, but without split screen. So it appears that they are dropping the parity clause between the two consoles when it comes to features. And the real thing, Phil Spencer at this point and the rest of the Xbox executives just want to make sure is that these games show up at the same time on as PlayStation, And if it's just a feature like split screen that's holding it back, all they really want is for the game to show up on both consoles at the same time, and they aren't going to put as much heavy emphasis as on feature complete. So with Xbox dropping the parity clause, they are now stripping PlayStation of this advantage going forward, making it to where developers are now going to be able to publish their games just a little bit easier on the Xbox ecosystem as like it is over on PlayStation. And this is going to get rid of the idea of any unforeseen exclusives appearing on the PlayStation console. But this decision to drop the parity clause is also a little bit of a double-edged sword. Starting in the Xbox One generation, Xbox took the stance of no gamer left behind, and they have followed that through now into the Gen 9 consoles with bringing forward a lot of backwards compatibility and other features to be able to play your older games on newer hardware. And that being said, the whole idea of no gamer left behind, this kind of contradicts a little bit of the fact that Xbox is now deciding to leave Xbox Series S owners behind a little bit, making it to where if you want the absolute most premium experience out there without having to worry about missing features, you need to go out and find yourself an Xbox Series X and afford it, where now you will be kind of limited in what the Series S can do because developers are going to be designing games that are going to have different features between the two consoles when it comes to the Series S and the Series X. Yes, the Series X is a more premium console with a more premium price tag, and the owners of the Series X do honestly deserve to have a little bit more bang for their buck. But when it comes to at least the messaging that Xbox put off in the Xbox One generation and a little bit here in the Gen 9 consoles, the whole concept of leaving no gamer behind, this is where it's like you're still going to be able to free to play your games, but there is going to be some things that you will be missing unless you go out and get the more premium console. But that's the whole double-edged sword of the argument. Tell me, how do you feel about it down in the comments section below? Do you think this is a good idea for them to drop the parity clause? Do you think this sacrifice is going to backfire? Or do you just really kind of feel this is going to differentiate the reason to fork out the extra money to go all in on the Xbox Series X? I'm curious what everybody's going to say down below in the comments. If you enjoyed today's content, please like, subscribe, everything you can down below, which helps really with my channel growth and the YouTube algorithm. Also, please, on the end card here, check out my latest video, explore my channel, and all that fun stuff. And as always, I just have to end off with every video reminding everybody that the console war shenanigans are nothing more than dogma. Just be sure to play the games you prefer on the platforms you love. I am Centurion1307, and thank you for watching.